This could be your year. Make an old man proud of you. Forget about the tears on the level. See me eye to eye. Stand up like a man.
Hey everybody! Welcome to another Mograph podcast. I'm your host, Matt Milstead. And look who's back! It's Dave!
Do it, lady.
Oh my gosh. Do it, lady! It's your
On your
birthday on your birthday.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Back to it then.
Yeah.
I'll take the sunglasses off now. I don't need
Yeah.
that the whole time.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Super excited to have Dave back. We're gonna talk some Camp Mograph stuff as well as like a bunch of stuff that he's been up to. And meanwhile, he secretly judges me on the way that I run the show right now. He's gonna be
All
like,
right.
"What? What?"
It's all right. We all have our issues. I'm currently adjusting my IFB because it's stuck on something. So
Oh.
that's fun.
I don't know what an IFB is.
Interruptible foldback device, feedback device.
Oh, interesting. All
There we
right.
go. It's 'cause
Really
I was
expensive
on it. With,
earphones.
they
versus
weren't. No, I went with the
just
cheap.
the AirPods.
I just don't like wearing gigantic headphones on podcasts.
Yeah,
so.
I get that. I get that. Or the ones with like the giant like space on your head.
Yeah, these do that. These
Yeah.
are really nice. These are
Yeah.
my I have headphones for everything.
Yeah.
Just so you know. These are the open back Sonys. They're
Ah.
pretty penny, but they're very, very good for doing music and stuff. So
Yeah.
that's
cool.
what I use them for. And Call of Duty so I can hear
Oh
the
my gosh.
footsteps coming to kill
I
me.
have hopped on Discord when you guys are playing Call of Duty a few times, and it's chaos in there.
Oh yeah, it's chaos. You can't have when someone comes in, they try and have like a conversation. You're like, okay,
Yeah, I know.
everybody starts losing.
A few times I'm like, all right, I'll be back, and then don't come back because it's just so much
Yeah,
chaos.
you're always like, I'll be back, and you
Yeah.
you like immediately leave, and I'm like,
He's
he
not
won't
gonna
be
be
back. He's not coming back. Yeah,
That's funny. So,
Yeah, so-
yeah, good to have you
a
back,
lot going
man.
on.
Yeah.
Lots been going on. I got I got back from vacation
Mm-hmm.
last week.
Yeah.
And trying to get back to work and trying to get back to camp planning. Of course, the whole family got COVID on vacation, so that's
I
fun.
heard about that. That's awful.
You know, nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, where's my bell? I haven't hit that in a long time. I didn't even know where it was. I was like, do I still have it?
That's funny.
I still have it.
I don't
Yeah.
think I've hit the bell even once since you and I stopped doing the
see.
podcast together.
You got to bring it back. Yeah,
Right.
so I've been feeling weird, man. I got kind of that long COVID thing going
That
on and been all
sucks.
cloudy. I hate that.
I
you know.
I haven't had it for a couple of years, not since like Vegas real bad. Like the one
Yeah.
where all of us got it from Vegas. Yeah.
That's
that-
the last time I had it.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Here's hoping.
It-
But
it wasn't
hey, get it
fun.
out of the way before Camp Mograph, right?
That's what we said. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the kids didn't get it, but the
Yeah.
rest of our family got it. And like my mom got it for the first time. It's the first
Oh.
time she's like left the house since COVID, basically,
Yeah.
and she gets COVID, of course. So yeah, a lot's been going on. I've got copious notes as usual.
Yeah, I
you
don't
know.
have anything prepared. I'm just gonna, rely on you to do everything. So you tell me where to
Yeah.
drive, and I will drive.
Yeah. We'll go through it and then we'll do after dark a little bit.
Oh, boy.
We'll switch it up, change the lighting. We'll get real big into like
All-
AI and things.
All of it in an
You know.
hour, in 1 hour.
All in an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, 57 minutes. So here we go.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
You want to
No,
start with some Camp Mograph stuff, or did you have something else
Well,
you wanted?
I do, but
Yeah.
I was just gonna in general say, where I've been.
Yeah.
I kind of just disappeared off the show. You know,
I
there
mean,
was
we
a
kind
lot
of
going
talked
on.
about it, but yeah, like, yeah, go ahead. If
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, well, it was, I mean, not a lot really. It's just a lot was going on last year, the years leading up to it. You know, 2025 has been rough.
yeah,
You know, there's been huge changes like in every aspect,
yeah,
you know. So I've just been trying to simplify life, you know, trying to simplify finances, trying to simplify tasks and daily
mm-hmm.
everything and sit down every day. It's like, what do I have to do today? Which is number one, I've said it before, like, how do I make money?
Yeah,
What is going to make money today? Start
yeah,
with that, So, been doing that, trying to simplify, in the last couple years. I lost my dad. That was a tough year.
yeah,
It was a very long, drawn out thing. And then within 5 months, lost my grandmother, who was also like a parent to me,
yeah,
lived with me
yeah,
my whole life. Then I had a stroke and hemorrhage and seizure all at the same time
yeah.
last summer, which that was a huge thing to get through because, it's not just the recovery, it's the medicine you have to be on and
That
everything. Just my
medicine is
world was cloudy.
awful. It's
So bad.
so
Were you
awful.
you took it, right?
So I had real bad migraines. I've always lived with real bad migraines. I finally found out it was just allergies. I just needed to take an allergy pill whenever it happened. But at one point, I had migraine. I was getting migraines every day. I went to the doctor and he prescribed me this. It's like an anti-seizure medicine,
Yeah,
and
Keppra.
yeah,
Yeah,
it just
it's the
fogs your
worst.
brain. Like, and I
It
was
makes you
on it for
angry.
months and months and months, and I could not like think clearly. It was always just brain fog all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awful. I mean, I didn't get off of that until like the end of last year. And
Yeah.
so, even through camp, it was just so hard to even concentrate and
Mhm.
do stuff and concentrate on work and all of that stuff. And so, we got down to the end and, you and Mark both left camp to concentrate on your business.
Yeah.
And it's like, I also need to concentrate on my business,
Yeah.
which I'm trying to do simultaneously and do camp. But,
Yeah.
we just wanted to keep it going. And it's also Julie's only job right
Yeah.
now. So I'm like, well, we're going to try and keep it going. And, so the restructure took a long time. I mean,
Yeah.
the paperwork and all
Yeah.
the things you have to do for something like that, just for a small,
Yeah.
small business is
Yeah.
so much work and so much money and just so much paperwork. And so we went, we got through all of that. And in the meantime, I was fighting with my biggest client.
That's
And
right.
yes,
Yeah.
because they went through structural changes and
Yeah.
changes of ownership, and they had no idea what was going on prior,
Yeah.
and to the point where they owed me $45,000, and they told me they didn't owe me $45,000, even though we had already done the work and I had paid people to do the work. And let me just
Yeah.
tell you, you can have the best contract in the world, but unless you want to spend a bunch of money to fight it.
Yeah.
So we ended up settling. It was the lawyers versus me and ChatGPT. And
Yeah.
I kept pushing and I kept pushing and, got some money, but not the
Yeah.
whole thing. And it sucks because they burnt bridges and I lost my biggest client in the process,
Yeah.
and it sucks. So I've been, doing some other projects. I'll talk about that later, you know. But when you lose your biggest client, it sucks because then, for
Yeah.
years I've been trying to find other clients, but when you
But
have a
you've been so
whale,
busy with that company,
right,
working for that
right,
company doing it, it's like you can't branch out too much. Yeah.
mm-hmm,
Yeah.
yeah. So all that going on, and we also did the Maxon live streams, and Maxon doesn't stream anymore,
Yeah.
so that was gone too. That was my, third biggest client,
Yeah.
so so that and camp and everything, it was just like, doing a stream once a week, I can't do it. I
Yeah.
need my 5 days of work a week or
Yeah.
more, right now. And when you do a show, it kind of takes a lot out of your day,
It does. Yeah, my
so
weekends, you know this. Your weekends are kind of filled up with some of the Mograph prep stuff that you need to do for
yeah,
the nice thing about the new format for the show, it's only an hour, so it's
yeah,
like there's a lot less prep, you know, it's like with some of the people you have on that you don't need to prep for. Like
It's
I
easy.
didn't prep
Yeah.
for this at all. It's
Yeah.
like we just
Yeah, 'cause
hop
you
on
knew
and
I
we
have
shoot the shit
copious
for an
notes.
hour.
Yeah.
That's easy. But some of the ones that you
Yeah.
may be a little bit like, oh, okay, I don't know what this is gonna be, or they're new. You got to prep a couple of things, just some talking points and stuff. But yeah, the 1 hour. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's like you got to spend a bunch of time, doing the socials and stuff like that, all in hopes that someone uses your website and gets on and like
Yeah.
participates.
Yeah. And so I'm enjoying just doing like, random streaming of stupid stuff like video games because you can
Yeah.
just hop on and just do whatever. And if only two people watch, only two people watch. You're still playing games,
Yeah.
blowing off some steam.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been spending 2025 putting my head down, and just getting the work done as much as possible. And it's just like a mountain of work that
Yeah.
just never goes away. And one of those big things right now is camp, of course. So I guess I'll promote that a little bit.
Yeah.
We had a lot of people after the sale say, "Oh my God, I missed the sale. I couldn't get a ticket."
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, a lot of people thought that because we didn't sell out.
Yeah.
Selling out is like not a thing that most people deal with, right? Like,
Yeah.
a lot of these other events and stuff don't necessarily sell out in 30 seconds. And so when you go from selling out to not selling out, you kind of, I failed,
Yeah.
I'm a failure because it's not popular. But in reality, you still sold a bunch of tickets.
Yeah.
It's like most people have to begin selling tickets on ticket sale day, not end the ticket sales on ticket sale day.
Yeah.
So the ticket sales are still open. You can still get a ticket. We heard, oh, I missed the sale. I didn't know about the sale. Of course, people are worried about the economy and AI taking their jobs. And so
Yeah.
people are reluctant. People from other countries saying, I don't want to come because I'm concerned I'm going to get stuck in customs
I
and
get
ICE is
that.
going to detain me or something. And these are real concerns. And on top of that, then expenses are up.
Yeah.
With concerns on tariffs and economy and then people not buy the whole thing. And even potential sponsors
Yeah.
were difficult because everybody is feeling that crunch right now,
Yeah.
right? So all of it has been so hard. But we are fortunate that we still do have a group of dedicated sponsors. We got Otoy and Maxon doing their village sponsorship again. Grayscale Gorilla and Vernon Roberts is here for the first time sponsoring, which is
Nice.
awesome. They're integration sponsors. So Grayscale Gorilla is a shuttle sponsor. Vernon
Nice.
Roberts is the bar sponsor. So
Nice.
we're going to do Vernon's Bar and Grill. And I told him I wanted him to do a sign that kind of looks like Uncle Julio's, but it's like Vernon.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't remember the final thing he came up with, but he came up with a Vernon's Bar
Yeah.
and Grill, so we'll have that out there. The drinks are great. I'll get into all of that in a second.
Yeah.
Also sponsoring is Motion Plus Design, Stash, and NodeFest, and Joel Pilger, who is also speaking at the event, but
Yeah.
he's also going to be heading up the beer pong championship this year.
Fun.
We will have a trophy, so get ready to do the beer pong. So
That's exciting.
yeah. So we can go through a little bit. If you go to the top, you go to the lineup. You can check out the lineup. We are back in Virginia Beach, which is a big
Yeah.
favorite, and we're going
I'm
for
excited
this.
about that.
This is like and you're going to be there.
I will
You're
be
gonna
there. So
I need you to get your ticket, by the way.
Oh yeah, okay, I will.
Yeah.
Mograph is sponsoring half res for for those who
Yeah.
are going to half res. So me and Matthias are flying to Chicago like that Friday to go to half res, and then immediately flying the next morning to Virginia Beach to be at camp for the next couple days. So
Yeah, and I feel so bad about the timing on that because like last year it was fine because people
Yeah.
could go. We were in the same city. This year we had booked it, and when we were transitioning through all of that stuff,
Yeah.
we already had it booked since like October, and in like February or March, Chris was like, "Oh, by the way, this is when half res is." I'm like, "Dude,
Yeah.
oh no,
Yeah.
we have an issue," and so we are really going to try and not do that. We may move the camp day because we've always had camp on the same weekend,
Yeah.
and so we might move things around because it also always conflicts with Amsterdam.
IBC, yeah.
IBC, my favorite root beer. So So we're working on that a little bit. But the theme, it's back to the beach because we're going
Yeah.
back to Virginia, and it's think like early 2000s Hollister shell
Nice. Yeah.
necklaces, all of
Puka
that.
shell. Yes. Yeah.
Yes, it's gonna be awesome. Where you got some t-shirts that are kind of like, like distressed t-shirts and stuff.
Nice.
And so that's going to be a lot of fun. Jen is putting together a thing where you can submit your old photos of
Oh
in the
boy.
2000s for those who were alive then. And I have a picture. There's a picture of me in a Hollister shirt with frosted tips sitting on my Mac next
Uh
to
huh.
Julie in
Uh
her
huh.
old apartment years ago. And so you're going to submit that. We've got some other things going on, kind of behind the scenes. We'll send out in the newsletter as well. Like you can get, we're going to do like a yearbook kind of thing
Mm-hmm.
that Cons is heading up. So that'll be fun. And we are also actually real quick go to the store, and then we'll
Yeah.
come back to this page. If you go to the store, we are changing things up because there are people who have been coming for they've been to 5 or 6 of these, and they have 5 or 6 black hoodies.
Yeah.
And we did a vote in Discord, and we're like, look, do you really want another black hoodie, or do you want
Yeah.
us to get some different swag? You can still get it. So I've pre-purchased all of these different things just to make sure they're QC'd. The hoodie, we had to go through a couple iterations of the hoodie so it didn't
Yeah.
look pink, but it's great. It's great quality. You've got the 2 different types of tank tops. We brought back the classic zippered hoodie that everybody loves.
Yeah.
We did a hat, which I love the hat. It's kind of a distressed hat. And then we brought these, and I did 2 different versions of these. I love my beanies.
Yeah. You do.
We've got the navy, and we went with the red, so you can
I
kind of
like
have
the
like the
red. The red
opposite
looks
colors.
really nice.
Yes, yes. And if you get somebody to come with you to camp, and you sign up and you put their name in, like if you get them to also buy a ticket, it's a Beanie Buddy program. You'll both get a beanie. So just a few days left. You only have till Friday.
Yeah, that's
Um,
important. I'll make sure I edit
yes,
the show tonight and post it. So
yes.
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, go back to the lineup. I'll talk about what we're doing. We know that some people you couldn't go to every class last year. We had a lot of classes, so we scaled
Yeah.
back the classes a little bit so that you can go to every class.
Cool.
Um, Ryan Summers is doing kind of a comic frames class, but he's mixing it kind of with a purpose, like
Yeah.
what you're gonna, what are your goals, and you're mixing it with that. So you're gonna learn how to properly fold a zine like 3 times at this camp,
Yeah.
and you're gonna start with when you come in the door with cons. And you're going to do that to make your comic book, and then you're
Uh-huh.
going to do that with Anka too, because she's doing these little mini zines. I know I'm skipping around all over the place. She's under Luis there. She is an excellent painter, and she's going to have a whole class with that. And so you're making a mini book in 1 hour. Luis is doing his embroidery workshop. If you've been following him online, he's been
Yeah,
doing a
that's
lot of
exciting.
embroidery. Yeah, so that's cool. Scroll down a little more. We got Byron. Byron is doing something pretty cool. He's got he's kind of mixing AI in with doing characters in Play-Doh. It's kind of a cool thing for hands-on. We know
Yeah, when we
everybody
had him on a
loves.
couple weeks ago, he kind of teased what he was doing, which was cool.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
people really love the hands-on stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and so we're gonna do or he's gonna do like the characters, and then I don't know, I haven't had my meeting with him yet to
Yeah.
really go through all the details, turning that into like AI stuff.
Yeah.
And then Laura and Brian are doing a workshop that's kind of like this analog glitchy type thing where you're using like you're projecting stuff through fog, and you're using analog cameras and
Cool.
TVs, and we're going to record it all like to VHS, and then when we're doing the VJ DJ stuff at night, we're going
Nice.
to like use some of that glitch art and stuff,
That's awesome.
at night. So that'll be kind of fun.
Remember when we went to UTD and they had an entire department of people that were like, that was like a workshop or a class that people could take, was doing all these weird avant-garde experimental stuff. Remember when we were up there? I don't know.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, I was like, oh man, that's the type of crap I want to do the rest of my life.
Yeah. That
That's
was really
fun.
cool. And so it's kind of like that. It's kind of like that. So that'll be fun. God, I hate the formatting of this page. It looks different on every screen. I
Yeah.
got to fix that for next year. Okay, and so fireside chats. The first night actually is going to be Marin Hayes
Uh-huh.
from Dash. You know, we know people wanted to do more hands-on, but people do like the producing stuff. But we felt like, okay, we don't want to do a million producing classes where you're sitting in the grass
Mm-hmm.
talking about producing. We feel like a lot of that has gone on the last couple of years. We do want to talk. We do want to talk shop a bit, but we wanted to keep some of those talks more like at the campfire rather than in the classes, right?
Yeah.
So she's gonna be great. She's gonna be the first night, and then Balake,
Yeah.
Lake Catherine, she's gonna be talking about her creative journey. That's gonna be interesting to hear. Like, you know, I mean, you've got her art through
Yeah.
the NFT phase, through the AI phase. It's like, what in the world, you know?
Yeah.
And so she's going to be talking about that. And then the last night we're going to have Joel Pilger. I don't want to give away what's going to happen there, but Ryan Summers is going to join in.
Cool.
It's going to be fun. It's going
Yeah.
to be fun.
Yeah. That's exciting. I love Joel.
Yeah.
Joel's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh
He's been a great advocate for us this year, really helping us push. You know, he's such a great guy. I don't know.
yeah.
I have no idea how he gets so much done and travels so much.
I
You know what I
know.
mean? So, yeah. Oh, well, thanks. Say I'm looking younger.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Well, I have lost 55 pounds since I was on the show last
Yeah.
time, so you know it helps.
A little less stress in your life because of so all the weight was from the show. I see. Yeah. I get
Yeah.
it.
No, I was telling Matt before the show that my camera overheats sometimes, and it's because I don't run my air as much. So my camera overheats because I'm not as fat, which is interesting.
That's nice.
Uh, yeah, it could be 80 degrees in here. I might have to turn it on in a minute though. It is
Yeah.
kind of warm with my backlight on. So
Tickets.
yeah, tickets. I mean, tickets are on sale. Get your tickets. I believe there may be one private cabin, maybe two left. I can't remember.
Let's see.
I kind of promised one to somebody. I don't remember
Yeah,
how many are
so
left. There could be more than that. I don't know, but um, let's see. Yeah, so tenting is not available anymore, but there are community cabin tickets available, and you know, a few the private cabins. So
yeah.
um, you know, check that out. I'm trying to think anything else. There's going to be activities. I mean, if you've listened to the show,
Yeah.
if you've been to camp, you know exactly what's at camp. But you know, if you're on the fence, you know, we've got a lot of videos online, a lot of testimonials right now.
Yeah.
Go check them out. Nick Campbell had just so many great things to say. It was so great of him to come on and do that. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, you can see there's like a million promos here. You know, for the people who are attending and who have attended and who are presenting. So it's great. So Julie says she thinks there's only two private left.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and I promised one to somebody, but they better grab it. Looking at you, Patrick
I
40.
just want to give a big shout out to
Yes.
what was it? They won. What did they win? It
It was the what was the name of shoot. Go to Elastic's website. You can see it. It has the name of the dingus on there.
the dingus.
Or Elastic's Instagram page will
Oh,
show.
boy.
I can't remember the name of the award that the sequence got, but I mean, this was just incredible. So many great people worked on it. I was just talking to a friend yesterday. He's like, "Hey, have you heard of Elastic?" I'm like, "Yes, I have heard of
Yes.
Elastic." It was
There you go.
there it is. The
AICP.
AD.
AICP.
Yeah. Well, yes.
Oh, was there another one?
Well, there was another one too, and as well, but um, just amazing. Like I'm so grateful that they did that. I mean,
Yeah.
that's like epic, the highest level of quality. You couldn't ask for
Yeah.
anything better than that promo. I mean, just absolutely insane.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen that, I mean, we broke it down in the show last year,
Yeah.
as well, but uh,
Yeah.
but
It
yeah,
was
it's
pretty
just
cool.
so good.
So bunch
Yeah,
of
I mean,
good
that's
presenters,
all the
bunch of
notes
good
I have.
people, and then
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. I'm bringing the puppets back, man.
Yeah.
You might see a couple more promos. I'm not going to use them that much, except for maybe the return of the scavenger hunt, which I am not in charge
Oh,
of, but I will possibly be producing, a couple short videos.
okay,
You
cool.
know, yeah. Thank you, Merit Award at the ADC 104th Annual Awards.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah.
Are we doing karaoke again this year?
Yep. Yep. There'll be
Nice.
karaoke. Travis and Maria head that up. There will be the band corner again
Awesome.
as well.
Very,
So
very
so
cool.
that'll be cool.
Awesome. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm excited to go. I'm excited to go as a camper. You know, like
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
just like and having a lot less responsibility and being able to actually just like hang out and chill and not stress.
Yeah.
Last year was very stressful. I mean, like
Yeah.
I
It
loved
was.
the location. I loved the camp of Chicago. Some of the staff was a little rough at times, you
To
know.
say the least.
Yeah,
And
to
that's
say
why
the
it's so
least.
great going back to this one because the staff
Yeah,
is
the
so
staff
good at
was
this place.
incredible
And the
there.
layout of
Yeah.
this place is the
Yeah.
best layout too.
Yeah,
You
it's
know.
super nice because especially if people are partying at the front, you know, and you're like all the cabins and stuff are so separated that like it won't be an issue, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
The are
Um
y'all getting some golf carts again this year?
oh
This year.
yes.
Nice.
Yes, yeah. We will have that. Scott is in charge of golf carts and
Nice.
maintaining them, making sure they're charged. That's one thing we forgot about it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we have to charge these. So Scott's going to be in charge of that. We have a staff meeting coming up next week, a volunteer meeting the week after, and
Mhm.
then shortly after that, we are going to have a town hall. It's a camper town hall where if you're coming to camp, you can sit down, especially for first timers. Hop on with us,
Yeah.
ask questions. What should I bring? Plus, you get to meet everybody, right? You get
Yeah.
to see some faces, and that way, when you're getting picked up at the bus, you know, um, you'll be like, oh, I recognize that person from the Zoom meeting. Okay, I need to go where they're going,
Yeah.
just in case you're trying to find people for the first time. So you'll kind of be used to it. You'll know what to expect going into it. So if you sign up, you start getting a series of emails that'll kind of walk you through that.
That's
You
cool.
know. So
That's
that's why
cool.
I need to get you in there. You gotta
Yeah.
you gotta get the emails,
Yeah.
and all of that. And you get a shuttle and all of that stuff too. You
Yeah,
sign up.
y'all
By
are
the way,
doing
if
actual like you're doing shuttles this
yes,
year. Man, that's awesome.
that was the
Versus
bane of
like
my existence.
yeah, the
It
first
was
time for
so
those who
rough
don't
doing
know, the first time we went to
lanes.
Virginia Beach, we basically like rented 6 buses or 6 vans and just kept driving people
It was
all
the
day. It was so bad.
worst.
And it's a 3-hour round trip for someone who's coming
Hmm.
from camp to the airport and
Right.
back. So, yeah,
Yeah.
that was pretty
So
rough.
that's the thing. Make sure that if you're coming and you haven't been getting the emails, you've been getting them. You just been
Yeah.
missing them or not opening them. You got to get in the camper portal and you got to give us your info. We're gonna have a cutoff for the shuttle.
Yeah.
And if you haven't bought your flight, make sure that you try and get an earlier flight because it is kind of a trek. And if you
Yeah.
are on the last shuttle that day, you're gonna miss dinner and you're gonna miss you're gonna get in like 8 o'clock at night. And,
Yeah.
so not that we don't have a little bit of late night snacks and food, but like, you're gonna kind of miss part of the first night if you don't get there early. It's a little bit takes a little bit of time getting there.
For sure. For sure.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean that's about it. That's all I have for camp.
So ticket
Did
sales
it
end
Friday,
Friday.
August 1st.
Yeah, so make
Yeah.
sure and pick one of those
Mhm.
up. Join us
Go
in
to
the Discord. The Discord is
campmograph.com.
great. Like I really love the camp Discord. We do last year we started a book club, and our book clubs
Yeah.
we meet once a month. This year we're reading a Agatha Christie book, and our meeting is tonight, which is a lot of fun. It's so much fun just being able to chill and talk to people, and it's like making lifelong friends at camp.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what else have you
All
been
right, well,
up to?
Yeah, let's switch into project mode. I can go into After Dark mode,
Oh
you know.
boy.
and do Dave After Dark. Here we go. We'll just
Dave After Dark.
All right.
I can't.
After
I don't
Dark.
have a Switch.
That is very red though.
Yeah.
Should I less I'll lessen it up. Add a little green, add
Yeah.
a little,
Pull
Add a
the
little
red
green.
slider down. Yeah. There you go.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Oh, too much, too much. All right, so
You see my
um
gobo that I bought? See my gobo?
oh yeah, that's nice.
I got
Your
advertised.
TikTok shop?
Yeah, oh yeah, TikTok shop. I got advertised it and I was like, "Oh, you know what? I could buy that and then custom 3D print the Mograph logo and have it projected on the wall." But, my 3D printer's sitting beside me, not being used, not even plugged in. It hasn't been used since Denver camp.
I've gotten back into it. I've been trying to make things that like come off the printer articulated
Mm-hmm.
and like, like little fidget thing with like I don't know if you can see
Yeah.
the inner workings of that or not, but and just fidget toys, articulated things. I don't have them over here, but like that come off the printer and they're just already attached. It's crazy how that
Yeah.
works. Made some pretty fun stuff with that. And with the printer, with like I've got the X1 Carbon here and I've got the app. So
Mm-hmm.
you literally just use your phone, find something you want, and hit print, and
That's
then you
nice.
can see it on
Is
the
it
camera
auto
on your.
leveling?
Oh yeah,
Man,
oh
see, that's
yeah,
the number
all
one
that.
thing that I hate about my Ender 3 is that I have to physically level it every single time.
Oh yeah.
I feel like if I didn't have to do that, I would be so much more inclined to actually 3D print stuff.
And the plate is the best because it's magnetic and it comes right off, and it is the
Oh,
best non-stick. I mean, you just go like this and you flex
yeah.
it, and then you just pull the thing right off, and
I
it's
had a
good to
really
go.
hard time with some of the flexible ones. I bought I couldn't get it to adhere correctly, and then I bought a glass plate and it worked really well.
Yeah, glass
Yeah.
is good. This is
Except you can't bend
called
it, you know.
yeah. This is called the I think it's called the pie plate.
Okay.
I think PEI. Yeah, it's
PEI.
the bamboo textured PEI plate, and man, it's so I mean it's kind of like Teflon or something, and
Yeah.
it's magnetic, so it sticks right back on
Yeah, yeah,
once you put it
yeah,
in.
yeah.
And man, it is so good. And then
Upgrade
I
your
don't know if you
leveling
can.
screws. Okay.
Oh. So ugh, all right, I'll fix that later. Um, so it's also got the AMS feeder on it too,
Oh,
so
that's
I can
nice.
do, I can have it do four colors,
That's
you
super
know.
nice.
Yeah, which
That's real
that
nice.
takes a while because it's got to
Yeah.
switch back and forth,
Yeah, it's got
but
to get rid of all the poop first, right? In
yeah.
between.
I
Yeah.
didn't know. I thought the poop chute had a little container in the back.
Uh-huh. It doesn't.
I It doesn't. And I was like, when do I have to empty this? And I go look, and the floor behind my shelf is covered in poop.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's so
There's so
funny.
much poop. Um, but anyway, okay, I know we only got 30 minutes left, so I'll dig into these notes here. So finally did a new website for Nexus.
Yeah.
Uh, I
That's
don't think it had been updated in 6 years or
It had been
so.
a long time.
Oh man.
It hadn't been updated since you and I were working together, which was a long time, you know.
Yeah, 2017, I think, may have been the last time it was updated.
Yeah.
17,
So,
18 ish. And so, kind of redid it. And, the problem with the website is you don't know if anybody's really going to even look at it, but you have to
yeah.
have something there and you
Yeah.
want to have a place to like go link back to for case studies and things. I've got the little AI bot, you can
Yeah,
ask it
talk to
some
me about the AI
questions.
bot. What you
It's
were
just a
telling me about it.
Zapier. Yeah, you can put in spreadsheets and info, and you can, tell it what to, if it gets too out of hand and it
Uh-huh.
it it doesn't know what to tell them, it says, "All right, well, we're getting a little complicated. Let's set up a time
That's
for
funny.
a meeting or could do a quote or something like
Yeah.
that." So if you go to case studies, you can see there's a bunch of stuff on here. We're not going to go through all
Cool.
this or whatever, but you can see a lot of these going back. I'm going back through some of the old stuff too because like, you might post something old like see the one with the concert visuals there, like that's old,
Yeah.
like that stuff. It's old, but it's new to somebody, right?
Yeah.
So if you click on them, I've kind of broken it down. Like if you go to like, yeah, that one, I've put some videos. You can hit
Cool.
play, I think, on the top, and just kind of showed how it was broken down, how we matched the scenes and,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Um, and if you go back to the top, there's like Zephyr. I've been having fun working with this client, Zephyr.
Yeah,
They've
and
got
did you get that client through Was it them who you're just like, hey, I like your stuff, let's work together, or something like that?
Um,
Or was that a
no,
different one?
it was our friend Christiana, who you and I had been on tour with. She
That's
worked there
right.
for a
Yeah, yeah,
while,
yeah.
but she's not there anymore. But
Yeah.
they still came back to me and they're like, we want to do some stuff. So you can see, I tried doing some of the new Maxon particle stuff in here, and I had to go to X particles
Yeah.
because I was trying to do just a simple cinnamon splat, and because particles don't interact with each other, and you have to turn them into Mograph objects, all of a
Yeah.
sudden 1,000 particles doesn't work.
Yeah.
And so I had to go back to X particles. But there was some stuff I really wanted to do with more liquid and stuff. And I think this year we may be working on like a holiday spot for
Cool.
them. And I would love to try some of the liquid stuff that they got going on,
Yeah.
just to do
Have
it.
you played around with it at all yet?
I've been meaning to.
Yeah. Oh,
The first
yeah, but you're
time,
probably like stuck in like
no,
client
I
mode with.
upgraded.
Okay, cool.
No, I finally
Yeah.
upgraded because I was on Octane 23 and
Yeah.
I was on Maxon, 2024.5, and everything's upgraded now. Um, I've had some crashes and things, but I can't tell if it's
Yeah.
just because I'm working on a really big project.
I need to
But
steal this
the
one. I worked on this one too.
Yeah, you worked on that one too. There's a couple you worked on.
Yeah.
The Dead Mouse
Yeah, the
one,
Dead Mouse
and
one, yeah.
yeah, there
We
might be
worked
some
on
other
Busch
things in
Gardens and
there.
stuff.
Bush
Yeah.
Gardens, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
That's
there's
fun.
there's some fun stuff in there. There's one for SNL, that one there with that one.
Camila Cabello. Yeah.
Yeah, and Willow Smith. It kind of sucks because it was like you can even see there that they were setting up the
Yeah.
on stage there for SNL, and I had told my mom my stuff's going to be on SNL,
Yeah.
and then she got there to rehearsals and she's like, "Well, what about the classic stage?" And they're like, "But you wanted this. We have to put it on the stage." She's like, "No, I want the classic SNL stage." So they took it down. They're like, if we take this down, we can't put it back up. We've been here for 3 days building it.
Oh.
I was sleeping on the floor in my
Yeah.
office trying to get it done, and she just shows up and just scraps the whole thing. But she did use it later in some stuff,
Yeah.
But I wanted to say that my stuff was on SNL, but I don't get to say that yet.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, she used it later, but it's like on a screen. It's not the
Yeah.
same,
It's not the
But it was
same.
doing that whole gag, whole perspective gag, and then the razor one. I've got
This
a
one, the
behind the
beard.
scenes on. Yeah, the beard thing. I got a behind the scenes reel that I'm gonna post at some point
Uh-huh.
on how I made this, and it's kind of an interesting style of TikTok reel,
Yeah.
whatever that I want to
You
post.
you did this one just for fun, right? Was
Mhm.
that yeah, that was
Yep.
just a personal project.
I pick a brand every
Uh-huh.
year that I really like,
Uh-huh.
and I make them a spot
Yeah.
every October, November, and I send it to them, and I would say, I haven't done it that many times, but I'd say most of the time they really like it, and then they come back to me for work.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I did it with, so a lot of times they become clients. I'm like, here, I'm doing a thing to practice a technique for a company I like.
Yeah.
And so here it is. I did the one for Happy Caps, and they became a client. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. I wanted to do some product renders just to have more product renders on my site, and it doesn't take that much to set up a little setup, and I did
Yeah.
it, and I said, here, I was doing this thing. If you want these, and they used them,
Yeah.
and then they came back. So and they sent me some free product.
That's nice.
Which, if you don't know what that product is, uh,
Just Google it. You'll find out.
yeah. So yeah. So I mean, you don't really have to go through everything here. It's just
Yeah.
I was just saying, we kind of redid, redid the site and
Yeah, I
things,
mean,
and it's just nice
it's a
to
lot
finally
of
have that
work.
out.
It's a lot of work to rebrand a site, especially when you've got when you
forever.
haven't updated the stuff. Like I know I'm freelancing at ABC that I mention every week, and we
Mhm.
have a couple of people who are updating the site with all the work, who are constantly updating the work that we have been doing, which is it's crazy. And so having to do it all yourself, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. So
I mean, in every page, if you want to do a case study and then
yeah.
you want to do the LinkedIn and you want to link to it, you got to have at least a
Mm-hmm.
couple paragraphs. So,
Mm-hmm.
ChatGPT helps me write things and it puts M dashes and everything, and then I delete them. And I love that when I tell it not to do M dashes, it does it anyway. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what do I tell you every single time? And it's
Yeah.
like, no M dashes. But the way it says it is passive aggressive.
Uh-huh.
It says, okay, M dash, I won't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Hmm. I'm like,
Uh,
okay, that is so passive aggressive. I even saw a thing where, what's his name, the Chat GPT guy, my mind is blank.
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
He was being interviewed about the M dashes, and
Hmm.
they're gonna pull back on the M dashes because
Well,
now even if you write an M dash,
yeah.
people think it's AI, so you
Yeah.
can't use the M dash. You've ruined it.
Yeah. The number one way I think to know, well, the number one way for me to notice that it's an AI written thing is if they're using emojis and lists. You know,
Yes,
it's the number one thing.
but
When I
I
was sending
like
off
that.
nah,
I like the emojis.
when I was sending off like resumes and stuff like that, I was using ChatGPT to help me, you know, like write cover letters and stuff, and it would do these emojis and lists, and I'm like, never do emojis and lists. It's like the number one way for people to know
And it
you
says
didn't
okay
put
with an emoji of an
right.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so dumb. And like that whole I've
Yeah.
talked about this before, the whole thing of like trying to apply for jobs while you're using ChatGPT. It's like you have got to get past their AI first with your AI that you're using
Oh my
in order
God. I know, it's awful.
just to get one person to look at your resume, or your
Yeah.
website or whatever. It's pretty ridiculous.
And we can talk about AI too. I guess the one other thing I wanted to mention is I have been working on a lot of stuff that's like NDA, and that kind of
Yeah.
sucks
Yeah.
because when you're on NDA stuff, or not even necessarily NDA, but like it's NDA until you're done. But you can say you worked on it, but you still like it's hard to show off,
Yeah.
especially when you're working with a big team and it's a different
And
company. Is
it's
like,
yeah,
you know,
exactly. It's different like when you're working as a freelancer almost for them.
right,
You can't put that on your business site like, "Hey, I did
right,
this work." Yeah.
right.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
can say that you worked on it.
Yeah.
There's a ton of stuff that I've been working on with Black Box,
Uh-huh. That's
John Lepore's
John
company
Laporte's
this
company,
year.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's not the only thing that he has posted, which I can say, I helped work on, is the IndyCar stuff, which was so much fun. It was a lot of work. It was very intricate, but all the IndyCar, package, there he does have a video up on it. You could, and I'm guessing, maybe I think I just reposted that reel he did, but I don't know if you can see his reel he did, but there was, there's so much
What's
as
the
far as like how intricate it is.
who is what's the Instagram? Uh
It might just be on John Lepore's Instagram, but
Johnny and
Johnny Motion.
Yeah. Here. Oh yeah, yeah.
So
Well, no,
he did
that's
a
just
reel.
he just did the concept stuff. Oh, maybe
Yeah,
he
yeah,
pinned that one. No, he pinned that one. Here, let me go
yeah.
to video
And that's the
stream.
thing. I don't even know how much he can show
Yeah.
either. But it was up there. If you go back up, it was keep going, right there on the left with the
This
6.
one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So, and there's one next to it too. So this was really cool. This is like HUD, but the great part about working with John Lepore is you can think as far outside of the box as you want,
Yeah.
right? Don't worry about if it can be pulled off, right? Just,
Mhm.
we're going to think big and then ask later, hey, is this actually technically possible? So
Yeah.
that's 3D renders and stuff of the car I did, like the in-car is just kind of a behind the scenes thing, but working on this project was so great. It was so
Yeah.
much fun. It was so
Yeah.
much fun. That was such a cool concept, being able to get, that HUD thing onto
Man.
the actual real-time footage of the cars,
Yeah.
and luckily we don't have to figure out how that happens. It's just
I was
design
gonna
stuff,
ask
right?
you. I was like, do you know? Are they using? Well,
There's
because
companies that just specialize in
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. I recently did some work with a company where we were recreating the it was similar to like the SpongeBob Super Bowl, like
Yeah.
these sports teams, they've got sensors in everything, so it's like, why not use that for motion capture or whatever, and you can redo the thing. I didn't know if they had something like this where it's like they can pull every single sensor, every single thing from this and be able to. That's
Yeah.
so rad.
There's so much data. There's so much
Yeah.
data in all of these.
And I know with ours in
and
particular, we were
yeah.
using not Unreal, the other one. What's the other one? Not Unreal. The other video game engine.
Unity.
Unity, yeah. They were using
Yeah.
Unity in order to drive all that stuff,
Mhm.
I'm curious if it's something similar.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know because it kind of gets handed off. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
But working on projects like that, you don't realize how much goes into something like that. It's like, well, what if first place goes to second place?
Mm-hmm.
How does that animate? What if it
Yeah.
goes back the other way? What if second place drops down to 10th place, so it has to go really far, but then it's a small tile? And there's all of these things. Well, what if this happens on the field? Is there an
Yeah.
animation? Gamifying stuff. So, there's nothing really that I can show
For sure.
online, unfortunately, like to because it's not my project, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I work on a lot of projects like that, and it's hard as, somebody trying to pitch yourself to say, no, I can do all this stuff, because you have no way to tell the world that you can do that stuff. You just
Yeah.
have to work with those people and hope you get other gigs with them and word of mouth, and it spreads. It's kind of like a secret NDA world. So,
Yeah.
so like, I don't know, I can post maybe like 2 projects a year publicly on my
Yeah.
website, and that's about it.
That was
You
one of the
know.
hard things working on the Madden stuff that we did, is that like,
Mhm.
you would go through it for a whole year, and then you'd have to wait until,
The next year.
Yeah, the next year,
And you're already like, oh, I hate that stuff. That's
Yeah,
old,"
I know
but,
that stuff is horrible. When
Yeah.
when I went off on my own, it was like, okay, I got to do my demo reel, but everything is just Madden, It was
Yeah.
terrible.
So I know we only got 15 minutes left. So
Yeah.
I do have some notes on like personal projects and AI.
Yeah.
Right. And so, at this point, we're all just selling ourselves to each other. Like
Yeah,
it's not even
okay.
like brand selling to us, or I think like everybody has an Instagram or a TikTok, and you're talking in front of it or posting stuff, and you're selling yourself to other people.
Mhm.
It's brand selling. It's your brand selling to other people's brands at this point.
Yeah,
And there's so much noise out there.
there is. Yeah.
There's so much noise, and it here's the problem. I was just talking to John Haley and I think Vernon this morning on Discord about this. I sat down the other day. I'm like, maybe I could do a daily. I have a little bit of time, and I looked through some stuff and I try and get some ideas. And you have to be in the mood,
Yeah.
And I sit down and I open everything up, and there's my blank Cinema 4D with the cube, and what am I gonna do? And I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna try this liquid stuff real quick, and I
Uh-huh.
don't know what I'm doing. I haven't watched anything on it, and I put a couple things in
I
there,
will
and
say
it crashes.
it's pretty well, yes. It's pretty easy to get in too. I will say that. Like, if you know the general way C4D likes to do things, especially with the
Right.
particles, you'll kind of understand it. But yes,
It was easy to figure out.
Yeah, I ran
but
into that
it-
issue
it
as
did
well.
crash
We did
on me
this
right
a couple,
away. I'm like,
yeah.
ugh.
We did. I had to make sure that I upgraded like my Octane as well as my C40 and make sure I'm the newest versions of them. But yeah, like we did live stream the other night where it was testing out the liquids, and we crashed it really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it does. But the thing is, I was like, all right, I'm not going to learn this right now. I know I might use it later. I know where it is. I kind of
Mhm.
know what tutorials I need to do if I need to get to it. But I just, what am I going to do? Post it online, have another freaking
Yeah.
stick or something with a bunch of honey coming down on
Yeah.
it. Everybody's doing it. Like,
No
it's
offense,
just so-
EJ.
Well, EJ's the one teaching everybody else to do
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But like, testing a blob of caramel. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to post that. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe if I just did a regular daily. And I'm like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
What am I going to do? Because at this point, I feel like unless I'm learning something new,
Mhm.
it's kind of like, why am I doing it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd rather just sit down and, play with the COD squad. We have a lot of people on Discord that play Call of Duty, and
That's
it's a
funny.
lot.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I would rather do that with my free time because I don't know. I'm at the point where I feel like if I'm doing a personal project, I don't know if I'm not learning something, I might be doing it for the art, I guess. But also, if I post it, it's going to look like any other thing that comes across your feed or anything
Yeah.
that AI could have done in 30 seconds. And it's just more noise. And I just feel like it's pointless to post a daily. Like, it's not benefiting me. It's not going to get me any more clout. It's going to give me like 3 likes on Instagram.
Yeah.
And it just feels pointless. And so rather than do that, what I have been doing is using AI in my free time,
Mm-hmm.
to learn more about AI because I do integrate it into some of the stuff, right? Like,
Yeah.
I know AI gets a lot of hate,
Yeah.
but and I'm all for conserving energy and the environment and stuff, but like I feel like people are picking and choosing what to hate. And when it's NFTs, it was the same thing. It was
Yeah.
like how much is, gas costing and the environment and all this stuff. And I understand those concerns. However, now it's kind of coming out how much this is actually like costing environmentally, right? Like 300 chat GPT inquiries is 1.5 liters of water.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're like, oh, okay. Well, you know, conserve, I don't want to be wasting all of that water. But then when you think, how much water does a hamburger take? Well, it takes between 2,400 and 18,000 liters of water for one hamburger. I've seen different numbers,
Yeah.
but for one hamburger, it's infinitely more than like 300 ChatGPT inquiries. So,
I saw something that they said doing one Google VO thing is like running your microwave for an hour straight. It was like, all right, that's a lot of
well,
energy.
do you have an efficient microwave? See, but that's the thing. I just like I'm all about the efficiency and stuff, but like I feel like, well, maybe it's better if I just don't eat burgers
Yeah.
rather than not using. Maybe I can do a trade-off here,
Yeah.
like a carbon credit
So
kind of a
you're
thing,
so you're I'm
you know?
you're going vegetarian in order to justify your ChatGPT uses.
Right. Yeah, I'm eating less anyway,
Right.
So I don't know. Yeah, it's a tough thing. I really
Yeah.
don't know the answer. I don't,
The
I'm still kind of,
I the way I see it is we talked about this last week where it's like it's so new and so fresh, and we all like to complain about it because I mean that's what we did when like cell phones came out. We complained, oh,
Mhm.
now everyone's going to start shooting video and it's not going to be good quality and whatever, you know. Thanks, Sanjay.
What?
He's
What is
just
it?
big shout out to Otoy, our
Yeah.
sponsor, by the way. Oh, which I didn't do. Hold on, let me do
Oh,
that
you
real
didn't.
quick. No, I
All
want to
right.
give a big shout out to Otoy, our sponsor, for sponsoring the podcast and the website. They're a universal sponsor. You know them, you love them. They're the makers of Octane Render and the Render Network. With Octane Render, you can render your super photorealistic renders in a fraction of the time. And for those extra little things that need an extra boost of power, the Render Network has you covered. You can try them. Try it. .rendernetwork.com. Yeah. So Fancher pointed out because we had a pretty beefy. You put the glasses back on. We had a pretty
Put my light back
yeah,
on too.
yeah. We had a pretty beefy render, and I reached out to Sonny over at the Render Network, and I was like, hey, I got a pretty beefy thing. I'd love to be able to throw it on there. Can you throw me some tokens? And he did. And we were joking around $7,000. How many microwaves? Anyway. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's the
Yeah.
same thing. It's like we who have been in this industry for a really long time, we're pretty worried about it. But I don't think a younger generation who is just now getting fresh into it, they're probably a lot more excited about it.
I think I'm still using more energy doing renders right now than anything I'm doing AI. But
Yeah.
and I've put those plugs on, which you have too, those little Govee plugs to start
Yeah.
monitoring your wattage
Yeah.
and really start paying attention to that stuff. And energy prices are about to skyrocket. I hope you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
your electricity bill is going to be the cost of your mortgage in the next 10 years,
Yeah, that's crazy.
guaranteed. So
So
I won't get into politics, but um, liquid natural gas, man. Let's see. So as far as AI, what I wanted to say about the AI stuff is there's different ways I'm using it in production.
Yeah.
Like for one, I don't know if you want to pull up my Instagram account. I'll show you real
Yeah.
quick. There's a particular. Now, this isn't necessarily my prompt, but this is my what I'm
Is
going
this it?
for is, yeah. There's that one. That one is like the kind of a mall. Uh, you know, Here's what I called it: nostalgia for a retro past in a non-existent yet familiar dimension.
And what are you
Right?
using for that? Is this all Mid-Journey?
This is Midjourney, and I am so
Boy,
surprised that more
toys.
people are not talking about Midjourney video because it blows everything else out of the
Yeah.
water. I subscribed to the Google one for a month just to check it out. Meh. It's cool in what it does, but I feel like everything is just people. You
Yeah.
know, I'm taking like old photos of mine and it's animating them, and I notice things about like I've been animating my kids' toys, which you did
Yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah. That's a lot of
It's so
fun.
good.
Yeah,
It's
it's
so good
so
at it.
good. Yeah.
And and you get a lot of credits and it's fast.
Yeah.
And so like this is what I made with it, like this nostalgic kind of alternate dimension mall thing, and then that other one that I was before that, which is the longer one, which is
Yeah.
you know, it's
It's so
supposed to be like
cool.
these stores, and I put like this weird music on it. I'm real big into this Kmart album. Uh
That's funny.
but
I did really
yeah,
like this
just
one.
it's
Top ways
fun.
to stop to spot an
Oh
AI
yeah.
fake. Here's your top way
Yeah.
to spot an AI fake.
Number 11.
Yeah,
My hands.
yeah. Number were you using two hands
But
or did you actually use AI?
no, I didn't use AI. I just like cut my hand out and with a really crappy mask and just
Oh,
put it
that's
on
funny.
top of itself. It's an awful. It took me 2 seconds. Yeah.
That's good. It's good.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, this has been really fun to do, but also it's about using it in production, and it's not, and it's little things, right? I'm using a lot of Chat GPT. So
Yeah.
like, if you go to the Instagram for camp and you go back, and of course,
Yeah, yeah,
this
yeah.
one went up as an ad, and of course, I'm getting AI hate. Oh, this is unoriginal. It's like, dude, I literally puppeted this puppet and did the voice
You know
myself.
what?
It's
This was fantastic though. Like this was one of those things where it's like you were talking about the process for this and I thought it was
yeah,
fantastic. It's like you would okay, talk to me a bit
yeah. I'll
about it
walk
because
through it. Are you able
this
to pause it? Are you able to
yeah.
pause? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
think I can start over,
So,
but
all right. So I shot this all on green screen,
uh-huh.
right? And so at the beginning, he's kind of freaks out, right? And I
Mhm.
used Runway for this because you can do the style transfer thing, right?
Mhm.
So I took this and I brought it into Magnific AI,
Yeah.
and I said make him look like Van Gogh or Picasso, or these different styles, right?
Yeah.
On this one frame, and you take that one frame and you put it back into Runway because you can do a first frame style transfer.
Yeah.
So I would make that first frame a different style. I would put it into Runway and say, just take this video on the green screen and turn them into this thing instead, and it would just transfer that style to the whole clip.
It was
You know?
crazy to me how well the textures stuck.
Oh,
Like
it
that was the
sticks.
thing that
Yeah,
just blew me away. It's like, oh my gosh, this looks like an animated thing. It looks like real, like you spent a lot of time on it,
yeah. And
versus
then
just
like
a style transfer.
ChatGPT is so good at doing stuff though for just little things you have to do. Like I had the whole script in there, and I said he wakes up in a bed,
Yeah.
you know, and so I need a bed from this angle, and there needs to be the wall, and it on its own came up with the idea that on the walls there should be like an old picture
Sorry.
of him, his grandfather, and a wanted poster, right? And it,
Uh-huh.
it had photos of him that I uploaded, and so it came up with illustrations of his
Uh-huh.
grandfather with the peg leg and the wanted poster. And what does it say in the what it says?
10 exposure
Oh
bucks.
yeah, 10 exposure bucks. It came up with that on its own because
Really?
it knows my style, and it like
Yeah.
knows me and everything else I'm working on, So I wrote the script and I did all the puppeteering, but
Uh-huh.
it's just helping me do this stuff. This is, how long would it have taken me to make a fake illustration of
Oh
him
yeah.
and to do the poster and do all of that? And so then this scene right here, he's on the TV, right?
Uh-huh.
So I needed a puppet that looked like an anchor, right?
Yeah.
That is the pirate puppet. And I
Yeah.
went into Photoshop and I said, change this into a suit and change this hat into hair and all of that, right? and I did the stuff you would do with AI in Photoshop
Mm-hmm.
on the first frame. Went back to runway, and it changed the whole thing. So that
Wow.
is the pirate, right? And then I'm like, well, I need the back of his head, and I already shot it, and I put everything away, and I was like, well, I need a good shot of the back of the pirate's head. I said, Chat GPT, make me a still of the back of that pirate's head,
Uh-huh.
puppet's head, and it made the back of the head for me.
Uh-huh.
Cut it out, put it into the scene in After Effects, and then I said it's the reverse shot of the bed, and he's looking at the TV, and it made that background for me. Like I made this whole spot in one day,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. Like, and I spent a lot of time on it and creativity and did all of this, and then I just get people hating on it.
Yeah.
Oh, this is uncreative because you used AI for a few things. Like, dude, it's just something that helps you just like anything else.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's just like back when we used to joke about like, oh, well, did you build the software yourself that you
Yeah.
used to make that animation?
Yeah.
No, you just like, it's just so crazy, like, to me, that people are hating on it that much when it's helping your workflow. And in the end,
Yeah.
what's going to happen is it's going to get easier and easier, and we're going to well, again, I've said it before, we're just going to be storytellers.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's going to be a lot of noise, and it's really going to be about who can tell the best story using tools, and it levels the playing field. Think about these vibe coders and stuff now, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't really know code. They're vibe coding with ChatGPT, and people who wouldn't ever be able to do programming are able to take their creative ideas and turn them into a program because they have that help. So now it's just about your imagination. It's not about your technical
Yeah.
know-how anymore.
For those who haven't watched the RenderCon videos, go back and watch the one with Ahmad Mostique that Jules is interviewing him with. He talks a lot about that, where all these tools are going to become second nature, and really the biggest thing is we're all going to become storytellers, and the ones that are going to be successful are the ones that tell the great story, the ones that entertain us really well, the ones that entice us, the ones that we fall in love with. It's the same thing. It's why it's why I think that's why television became so much more popular, because they once kind of like digital and TiVo and stuff, because you could tell this continuing story and stuff like that. Or especially Netflix was much more willing to do like a slow burn because the storytelling was just so much better. And that's what you're going to have with AI, like the people who can do it well, who can like use those tools in order to create an awesome story or something that's really engaging. That's the ones that are going to win out. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's really what it is. Like, it doesn't mean you're not an artist. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean you can't do stuff for fun. It doesn't mean that that the creativity is gone. You're just doing it a different way. And I don't know, the stigma's going to go away, and it's
Yeah.
just going to be tools again.
Yeah.
It's well, we've got to adapt
Yeah.
or die, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Especially in our industry, I feel like we've had to adapt 4 or
Oh,
5
we've had
times
to adapt
already.
so many
You and I, at
times. I
least,
know.
the older generation.
Yeah.
Like we went
But
from
I will say, oh yeah, go ahead.
VHS to DVD, digital, film to digital, to iPhones to portable cameras, the
all we've
online
been
stuff.
doing
It's
our
all,
whole
our
lives.
whole career. It's just adapting to the next best thing. Yeah.
But I will say the project I'm working on right now, especially, is a good example of the fact that, um, a lot of people do now. They do the style frames using Midjourney, and Midjourney was great at giving me ideas, but it couldn't come close to what I'm having to produce for the client.
Yes.
It was
Yeah.
still
Yeah. Yeah.
messy. It was still not doing things right. It still is not there, and there's still stuff that, as a professional, your job's not quite on the line yet.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
you don't have to adapt
I
yet.
will 100% agree with you. I was talking to Pickle Nick. Pickle Nick and I have lunch every Mondays. Where we just talk books and everything, but I was talking to him because I'm having him do some of the like just little social clips for Mograph, and we're using a company called Opus Clips. You upload it,
Yeah.
and then it pulls stuff. And I've been doing some of me personally, I've been doing some of the RenderCon editing. So like Otoy gave me a bunch of their videos and stuff like that, and they wanted them cut down into these short little snippets. And I was like, well, we could try using AI, or I could cut it myself. And they were like, well, let's do a mixture of both, you know? And I have found the ones that I do myself are exponentially better than the ones that AI are pulling.
For sure.
Because when I'm going through it, I can go through and I can find a concise beginning, middle, and end thought for the entire thing, versus AI. It's like, okay, what are the buzzwords that I'm seeing off of this? This will get me 96% virality or whatever. And it's like, that's just a BS number that you just came up with, you know?
Well, it's talking about keywords and stuff. And so, like, I used to use Opus clips, and what I've been doing recently is I bring it all into Premiere. I export, I have it, do the transcript, export the transcript, tell ChatGPT to pull me some good clips with time codes.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Only use O3. Don't use 4. It's terrible at it, and it hallucinates quotes. You got to use O3. O3 is the best one to use. It takes a little longer. O3 is the highest. It's the absolute best. So much better. Use O3, have it pull those things for you. Then take those quotes, and then you can, in Premiere, you can edit with text now. Yeah. So you just, take the text and edit it, and you're done quickly. But then you still have some of your own thought process. Like, here's some good quotes, some good times, and then you kind of build around that. And then it does, it does all those, you can like pre-program templates to make the words pop up like Opus does, and then you don't have to pay for Opus.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So.
But hey, I got through my notes.
Yeah. All right, Dave, it was so good to have you. We got to have you back. Anytime you want to come on.
It's better when I package it all up for 6 months. Right. One nice
so we'll have you back in 6 months. We'll do the Christmas show. I got to figure out what I'm gonna do for like the Christmas and Halloween episode. Maybe I'll just skip them all together.
Just put an overlay of snow.
Right. Fine. Right. Yeah. Cool. Oh, I don't even have my notes up. I should have had my notes up. See. This is the bad part about not being prepared. Weekly Mograph list. There we go. So Dave, where can everyone find you?
Okay, so my company, nexusmotion.com, Nexus Motion on Instagram. I'm Mograph Dave on Instagram and TikTok, but I stream on TikTok under zeta.art, Zeta, and that's my website as well, which I paid way too much for the name. But it's kind of just a place for me just to throw my random crap, whatever it is. So it's going to be AI, animations, experiments, DJ, VJ, and video games. That's where I stream Call of Duty and Prop Hunter. It's just a bunch of crap. But if you want to see me streaming, I'm on there. Awesome. So, Mograph Dave or Zeta.art.
Awesome. So, and make sure and grab your Mograph or your Camp Mograph tickets by Friday. For everyone.
Better hurry.
Yeah.
Better hurry. Yeah. So, and if you're coming, make sure you go to that portal and put all your info in for your shuttle.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. So thanks to everyone for joining. Make sure to follow us on all the socials, especially YouTube and Twitch. We've been doing our weekly Mograph Hangouts every Thursday. It's been a lot of fun. Last week, I fell in love with AI because we were using sparse 3D, or it was basically you could input a picture and create it would create a 3D model that you could use like in the background and stuff like that for stuff. And it was really awesome. Y'all should go back and check out last week's live stream, but we're going to continue doing it again this week. I've got some ideas for some stuff, which, coming up, whatever. Next week, we've got Tokyo Megaplex, Christopher Rutledge coming on the show, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And if you haven't done it already, make sure to sign up for your very own Mograph.com account. It's a one-stop shop for everything a motion designer needs. You can showcase your demo reel, projects you've worked on, post jobs, apply for jobs, sell your digital goods, find meetup groups, or start one of your own, and so much more is planned. We're almost at the 800 mark, so sign up if you don't have one already. Get us over that 800 member mark, which would be great.
It's pretty good, I guess.
It's pretty good. There you go.
He said the thing.
He said the thing. So, thanks to everyone for joining us. We will see you next week. Until next week, I'm Matt.
And I'm Dave.
Later, yo.
pretty good, I guess.